For more in-depth analysis, we're joined now by Malcolm Clark, a voting rights activist, and Saira Yamin, a security analyst. Thanks to both of you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Malcolm, let me start with you. We've been reading some of your stuff on a website called the World Wants Obama Coalition. Why does the world want Obama?
Yeah. For many different reasons. It's hard to generalize, but partly it is just for a change, for a new way of looking at things. With collaboration, with a positive role for Americans and American policy with the world, and people across the globe want to engage with that. They want to have that discussion, that positive relationship again with America and with American people. So I think they're really looking forward to or hoping for a change.
Saira, do you believe that to be the case?
Well, that is not the perception in South Asia, certainly where I come from. In Pakistan and Afghanistan, we don't think that the U.S. foreign policy is going to change drastically, whether you have McCain or Obama, because, as you know, Obama wants to end the war in Afghanistan and take it to Pakistan, which, as far as I'm concerned, is political schizophrenia.
Does he want to take it to Pakistan? Because I think what Obama said was that if there is actionable intelligence that Osama bin Laden or one of the other al-Qaeda leaders was known to be in a certain place in Pakistan, then the U.S. would attack that target.
Yes, he says that, but what he says that he's going to take the war to Pakistan if the government of Pakistan is unwilling or unable to, catch Osama bin Laden. So the impression that he's conveying is that the Pakistan government have some kind of a relationship with Osama bin Laden where they're not willing to find him or they're not willing to hunt him down. And you've got to realize that Pakistan has lost thousands of its civilians in the war against terrorism, in U.S. military attacks, which have increased the drone attacks in Pakistan's northwestern borders in recent months. It seems that the Bush administration on its way out is trying to prove its mettle. So what it's really trying to do is target terrorists, but it kills civilians, and there's been a lot of damage to infrastructure. And the fallout of that has been a spate of suicide bombings in Pakistan. In the past year, Pakistan had more suicide bombings than Iraq. So, the people of Pakistan are not amused when Obama says he's going to take the war to Pakistan, and he keeps saying it again and again.
Malcolm, does it surprise you when you listen to Saira saying that there isn't this universal support for Barack Obama that we think there is?
I don't expect there to be universal support at all. I mean, everyone has their different reactions. I mean, I spent time this time last year in Africa, in Zambia, with about 200 people from across the continent, and it was palpable then, before a vote had been cast in the primary election, how the knowledge and interest in the election in certain parts of Africa was huge. And yes, there are problems or issues of specific foreign policy things. Nothing's going to change overnight, and it's not about one leader. It's about many people, but it's actually about that symbolic change in relationship. And actually, it's about. I mean, this is why Obama really connects with me. Is about he's saying it's not just about him. It's about we are the ones we've been waiting for. It's the emphasis on community organizing. And I mean, his famous quote, brick by block, block by block, calloused hand by calloused hand, we can change the world. And I think it's that people are seeing, I say hope in, and can, use themselves in their own activities, their own lives to kind of move forward. And hopefully, as they progress in some of the really tough issues that are going on, global issues in terms of environment, trade and fair trade issues, where we need America engaged in a positive way, and I think people are looking forward to that.
Well, I would say that in Africa and many Arab countries, the reason why Obama is very popular is because, one, because of the race issue, the fact that he's an African American, and because of his Muslim lineage. A lot of Arab countries are probably assuming that he's going to be more sympathetic towards them because of the fact that his father was Muslim, but they do not really realize, or maybe they do, that Obama is not going to change the American foreign policy a lot. It's going to be very difficult. Even though he said that he's going to bring troops home from Iraq, I don't see that happening very soon.
I think certainly the people that I spoke to, it wasn't so much about the specifics, but you're right, it was the connection, the symbolism, the audacity of hope. That's the title of his book, and it's very much the feeling amongst many Africans in terms of the optimism and the drive, no matter the circumstances. And it's not just about that final result, those policy changes now. I don't believe it's going to, things are going to happen overnight. But after 8 years of Bush, I think we need, I think many people in the world, not everyone, but many people think the time is now for a change, for fresh ideas, fresh momentum. And I think that's where McCain doesn't offer that, even though he's very, his opinions and contributions are certainly valued and valid, but I think people look much more towards what Obama can do, if not now, then changing things slowly over the next 4 and hopefully 8 years.
Well, interestingly, McCain on Pakistan and Afghanistan said that the conditions over there are very different than Iraq. So taking the war to that part of the world is not going to really make a big difference. And he was talking about working with the government of Pakistan, winning the hearts and minds of the people of Pakistan, which was very, very appealing until, unfortunately, he picked Palin as his vice presidential nominee, which was very disappointing because she resonates with Bush when she iterates again and again that she's not going to blink when those tough decisions have to be taken. So that, for me as a Muslim woman, that's also very, very scary, although she hasn't sounded very hostile towards Pakistan itself. And I believe that war, is not going to help anyone. And given the propensity of the United States, the propensity for war during the Bush years, one is really very scared and apprehensive about what's going to happen. And I think it's fair to say that the war on terrorism, it's not really going to change. The situation's not really going to change much.
Saira, we're going to have to leave it there.
Can I? Oh.
I'm sorry, Malcolm, we've run out of time. I'd like to thank both of you for coming in. Thanks a lot.
Well,
No
thank
problem.
you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much.